Everything is so expensive right now, and I don't understand how people aren't talking about it. We don't make enough money. Collectively, we do not make enough money. The price of things are not keeping up with how much we're getting paid. And it's infuriating to me for people to say that people just need to work harder, people need to get different specialized degrees, people need to start their own businesses. That's not the answer. The answer is that billionaires are hoarding wealth. And this system is set up to fail. And I'm just infuriated by it. I can't get ahead. Every month I try to get ahead and I can't get ahead. And I don't know how to cope with that. I don't know how to cope with that. Everything is so expensive, especially in the last 6 months. I can barely get by. So I don't know how I'm supposed to retain hope. Am I supposed to get a doctorate so that I can afford a studio apartment? Is that where we're getting to at this point? I don't know what the answer is to this, but it's so fucking bad. And I just wanted to get on here and tell you, if you are experiencing the same thing, you're so not alone. Everything is so expensive and it's infuriating to me.
How's everybody surviving? I get paid bi-weekly and we are a family of 4. We have 2 kids. How are y'all surviving? Because I'm not. I got paid today and it's gone. Goes toward the mortgage, cell phone bill, gas and electric, garbage, everything gone. Between insurance, car insurance between my husband and I, everything gone. And then I have to go to the grocery store. This isn't even factoring in groceries for a family of fucking 4. So imagine how it's every month. It's do we go do a big load haul of groceries or do we pay our mortgage? I can't do both. And my husband works 50 hours a week. I work 40 hours a week. We can't do both. So how are you doing it? The people that don't have kids are barely surviving. I am not surviving. And I get paid bi-weekly. And people are like, oh, getting paid bi-weekly is so much better because then when you get paid more. No, it doesn't matter because all my fucking bills get taken out at the same every month. I've tried to change it till the end of the month. It still doesn't matter. It still doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter when you have your bills taken out. Your money is fucked. Your money is gone. There's nothing you can do. You just have to fucking ride on this floating motherfucking rock and spend, $150 on 4 products at the goddamn grocery store. I can't. I literally cannot. I don't know how people do it. And unless you're a rich elite, we're fucked. So I hope everybody on this floating rock fucking screams like I do. And we can all fucking scream together because I just don't collectively know how I can continue on with a recession. I've lived through one recession. I physically can't do it now. And you can call me dramatic.
Family, many white folks thought that black people are the only people who are struggling in America. For the longest time, they've always related poverty to black people. And finally, reality has dawned on them. They are now seeing how expensive life is. We are seeing many white people take on their social media platforms crying, asking for help because life is becoming unbearable. During the month of November, there were no food stamps and many white people were crying online. They were asking for help. They were saying the prices of groceries are very, very expensive. They were complaining about rent. The cost of living to them has become unbearable. Something that they initially thought was a black problem is now a giant problem. I'd call it a crisis to white Americans. Many white folks are struggling with the very high cost of living. And right now, white folks in America are finally waking up to what black people have been screaming about for centuries. Life under this system is very, very expensive. Now they're crying about tariffs, about how groceries are high, how housing is unaffordable. But here's a twist. A big part of why America is collapsing is under its own weight because of racism itself, which has always made life very, very expensive. And now they are paying for what they actually voted for. So family, I want you to watch this video all the way to the end as we try to debunk and find out why many white folks are struggling today in America under the leadership of Donald J. Trump. Once the video is done, we will get back and do a critical analysis about the same. Let's watch this video together, family.
All right, so I have to share this because I'm a little bit moved to tears and I'm not 100% sure why, but I was just in the grocery store and this little old sweet lady in front of me went to go pay for her groceries. I couldn't understand what they were saying because she spoke Spanish, and so did the lady behind the cash register. But it was very obvious that she didn't have enough money. She was using several different cards, and she was handing her like $1 bills, and she kept saying the amount, but I don't speak Spanish. I wish I did. I was trying to understand the amount so that I could pitch in and help, but I didn't know what it was. So it got to a point where the cash register and the lady were just staring at each other, and this little lady was trying to decide what she wanted to put back. And I butted myself in and I asked, how much is it? And guys, it wasn't even a big amount at all. It was a minuscule amount left over for her to pay, but she was trying to decide what to put back. And I interrupted and was like, how much? And she told me, and I was like, oh, no problem, I totally got that. And the lady looked at me and you could tell her eyes were getting watery, and she said, thank you. And then right after she said thank you, she said, God is with me. And like, I am overwhelmed because, listen, this is how God works. We pray and we ask God for help when we need help. And can he do it miraculously out of thin air? Absolutely. But most times he will use other people to answer our prayers. While she still said thank you to me, literally her first reaction was, God is with me. We both finish and we're both packing up our groceries at the same time. She's putting away her groceries and she grabs her dessert and she puts it in her bag, and she says, oh yay, I get to have dessert tonight. And she packed her little dessert in her bag and she went on her way. And I don't say this at all about me because it was not a big amount, you guys. It was not. It was hardly anything comparative. But I say that to say this. One, it's the holiday season and it's really, really hard for people right now. People can't even pay for their groceries, let alone Christmas gifts and all the things that come along with the holidays. And literally just the smallest act of kindness could be an answer to somebody's prayer. And so I would encourage you this Christmas season that as you go along your day and as you're just living your normal life, ask God, if there's anyone that I can bless, even in a small way. It doesn't have to be anything huge, but God would keep your eyes open to be able to lend a hand, even if it's helping someone put their groceries in their car, literally whatever it is. If we as believers walk around and ask God before we start our day, Lord, show me how I can help, show me how I can be your hands and feet, he will do that. Like, I just got off work, I'm tired, I didn't even want to go grocery shopping, but as I'm going through my day, I'm just living my life, and boom, the Holy Spirit drops on my heart, pay for it. And I did, and this little sweet lady gets to have her dessert tonight, and she deserves that dessert.
Is anyone else noticing their grocery bill going up a lot? Because I shop at Sprouts 90% of the time, and I used to spend about $100 for 2 bags of groceries. That would probably be roughly 2 to 3 days worth of food for me and my family. And that's gone from $100 to like $140, $150 now. And that's a big jump. I mean, I know tariffs and everything going into effect, prices are supposed to rise, but that's a lot. That's like a 50% increase in the span of, I don't know, 5 months, 6 months. Just wondering if anyone else is noticing that. And by the way, how are people affording this? Like, if you're someone who needs to be on a strict grocery budget every month, like, how do you account for that? That's a huge price increase. It's crazy.
So I'm currently on the apartment hunt for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. And my budget used to be like under $1,500 because I was trying to save some money and pay off my student loans while like paying for rent. And it got me nowhere because now I have to move out of this apartment because it's not well maintained and I need a new apartment. What's frustrating is to then move into a newer apartment that you guarantee are not going to have problems at is like $1,800, $2,000, which is like insane to pay for an apartment while in grad school to guarantee that I'm living in safe conditions. Like, I just don't understand like how this is possible. How are people doing this?
Anyone else feeling stressed with the rising cost of living these days? Between the economy crisis and tariffs affecting prices, it's getting harder and harder to stay ahead. I literally just left the grocery store and staying within budget is feeling so challenging. But I don't let that control me. I decided to take some action some time ago, learn how to manage my money smarter, not just for me, but for my family. And now what I do is I teach others how to do the same. I encourage you to take charge of your financial future, whether that's learning new strategies or even exploring extra income opportunities. It's time to make a change. If you're ready, send me a message.
A home sweet home.
For more than 2 months, 76-year-old David Turner says he's been living, eating, and sleeping in his car.
The expense of everything is just crazy.
On good days, he drives to the Charlottetown Marina to greet tourists.
Welcome to PEI, sir.
Turner says his debt mounted, and after a couple months behind on rent, his landlord evicted him. Still, he feels more fortunate than others because he has a pension. It helps, but not enough to rent right now.
Seniors are struggling because of the cost of living, the cost of rent, the lack of affordable housing.
Seniors 65 and older made up nearly 5% of users at emergency shelters like this one behind me last year. That's up from 3.3% in 2000.
Did you know that 1 in 5 people living in the Atlantic in Canada have poverty-level living standards? And it's higher than any other region in Canada. Of course, nobody wants this for anyone in Canada, and it shouldn't exist in our country. Why is it that Canada could spend $1.1 billion housing asylum seekers in our country, and then set aside another $1.1 billion in the 2024 budget for more housing for asylum seekers? It would put them up in hotel rooms, facilities where they house asylum seekers with mental health services on site. At what point is enough and we start taking care of our own? This is a gentleman who's worked his whole life, paid taxes his whole life, and is now out on the street. But yet we have enough funding to house people who have never paid a single dollar in tax in our country. Someone please make that make sense. It's insane.
Can someone please explain to me why it's so expensive to grocery shop? I'm averaging about $250 a week. Family of 4, I don't meal plan, so grocery shopping is sporadic and chaotic and anxiety ridden. But in all honesty, what are we paying a week on average? And I'm in Nova Scotia, Canada. Really interested. Yeah.
Car's in repossession, gas is off, and we ain't got no food. And the only thing I can do about that situation is get us some food, because we hungry right now, right in this second. So I'm to the food pantry today, and I want to show y'all what I got. Shout out to the food pantry girl. If you don't follow her and have never followed her, please do, because I'm telling you, she changed my perspective on going to the food pantry, okay? I always thought, like, I'm gonna save that for people who really need it. Bitch, I really need it, okay? So let's get started. All right, we got bread. So we got 4 things of bread, all different kinds of bread, and some bagels, okay? We got some mac and cheese and some pasta salad. We got some lemon Mini pies? Those might be good. I love lemon. Okay. Meats. We got Italian sausage and some brats. We got 4 packs of Little Smokies. We got a rotisserie flavored pork loin. We got 2 boxes of this Rainbow Krispies cereal. We did get 2 half-gallons of milk and 2 1 dozen things of eggs, which I have in the freezer already. We got 2 cans of pear halves. We got 4 cans of kidney beans. We got some cranberry sauce. This is like the 4th can of cranberry sauce that I have. So I want to come up with a recipe. So if you know anything good to use for cranberry sauce, let me know. We have cinnamon applesauce. We got a thing of Alfredo. We got a bag of rice. And we got a hydrogen peroxide. So it's enough to get us through for a little while. I'm really bad at cooking content because that shit takes forever. But if you guys like want a couple videos of how I like throw this shit together, I do have like some chicken in my freezer already, and I have a couple cans of like green beans and corn in my pantry. I didn't have any noodles or eggs or milk or butter or any of that, so we appreciate the eggs and whatnot. So yeah, listen, bitch, if you need food and your kids are hungry, please do not go hungry over pride, okay? The resources are there for us to use, so use them, okay? I love you, bitch. And oh yeah, we hit fucking 10K. Yo, we fucking hit 10K. If you didn't see, now you've seen it. So yeah, I love you.
Family, right now when you go on your TikTok or any other social media platform, you'll notice one constant thing on your FYP. You'll notice a lot of white people crying over the cost of living under the leadership of Donald J. Trump. Today, you'd see one person crying about the cost of rent. Some people show how they spend their salaries. I recently saw a video of a white lady who earned, thousands of dollars, but now the money that she earned gets done the very same day she earns that money. She pays $2,500 for her rent. She pays $2,000 to facilitate her car insurance. She pays, for her phone and all these other bills for water, electricity. And the funny thing is that she remains with nothing after paying all her bills. Remember, she's not done any shopping in her house. She's not had any flexibility with her funds. She cannot even get extra for her to buy gas for her car. That is the situation right now in America, and that is what many Americans are facing after voting for Donald Trump in large numbers. The sad reality is that the cost of living is going high and high each and every day. The food banks are going dry, and many people are lining up with no food support from the government. We saw how many Americans struggled in the month of November without the food stamps benefit. That just shows you how desperate many Americans are. Many Americans who are actually working cannot be able to afford food because the cost of grocery is very, very expensive. And this is now the sad reality in America today. A condition that people thought was meant for black people. Many white folks would say and talk openly saying that poverty is for black folks, that they, white people, cannot face any form of poverty because they are special beings. Because they believe they rule the country. They believe they can never lack opportunities. But family, look at them right now. First things first, they voted for a fascist leader, they voted for racism, for whiteness, and they are feeling its heavy weight right now. Racism is very, very expensive. You cannot vote for a racist and think every other thing would work out for you because you come from the same race with the leader who holds the biggest office in the United States of America, the president. Things do not work that way. You choose a leader because of merit, because of what they are selling to you, because of their service and promises that you think would work out for you. Most of the promises that Donald Trump was making to Americans weren't feasible, but many white folks still chose him as the president of the United States of America. This, to me, has always been something that they actually advocated for. They advocated for the very high cost of living. They pushed for them struggling like they're struggling today. White folks are complaining over the cost of living. You know, they're complaining over the cuts under the big beautiful bill, thanks to racism, and fascism. How Donald Trump was actually voted in. We are seeing many Americans complain about them working for so many hours. Some of them are working more than 50 hours a week and cannot afford to sustain their lives in America. You wonder what is happening. How do you work for all those hours but still are not able, to pay for your bills? It doesn't mean that people are not working well. It doesn't mean that people are not overworking. It doesn't mean that people are lazy. But the cost of living right now is unbearable. You cannot be able to pay for all your bills and still be able to sustain your life without having any stress in the middle of the month. We've seen a lady in this video say she doesn't have money. Immediately she earns them. Do you know how crazy that is? You look like somebody who does not have, how do I put it? You're just there. You're like a slave. You work each and every day, but you do not get any freedom after working so hard. And family, that is the sad reality. If you're out there working and having a lot left after paying for your bills, you should thank God. Because some people spend their salaries, 100% of it, with nothing left on the side, to be banked, to be saved, or rather to help them in case of any crisis in the middle of the month. People spend their monies in full the very same day they were paid. And that is the sad reality right now in America. And family, this is something that many people are going through. And I'd say, without any fear of contradiction, that the American dream is actually dead. Right now in America, you are not bad with money. America is very, very expensive. The average cost of grocery in America right now is between $800 to $900 monthly. That's very expensive, family. The average house is about $2,100 a month. The livable income in this condition is between $175,000 to $220,000 per year. And family, who pays you that in America today? That is very, very rare because the cost of living is going high while the wages remain constant. It can be very, very hard for somebody to earn between $175,000 to $220,000 for them to be able to live, without struggling in the American system today. This system is broken because of MAGA voters. The math is not mathing for many Americans. Even if you took your funds and looked for a proper way for you to divide it and be able to survive in the month, it's crazy. It's next to impossible because life is very, very unbearable. This is thanks to choosing fascist leaders, thanks to choosing racism over merit, thanks to choosing color over performance. That has been the biggest problem that white America has faced under the leadership of Donald J. Trump. Family, let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this video. Do you think the biggest problem that white folks did was voting for Donald J. Trump? Is Donald Trump pushing America slowly, especially white America, to its fall? Because many scholars had actually prophesied, many spiritual scholars prophesied the fall of white America because of their constant mistakes of being racist, mistreating black folks and the marginalized groups in America. So family, do you think this is God punishing America? This is God punishing white America? Kindly like the video so that it can be recommended to other YouTube users, and I'd be very, very grateful. Lastly, I'd really appreciate if you all took your time to subscribe to the channel. We are currently on the road to 50,000 subscribers, and fam, I cannot achieve that milestone if you all don't share this video with your friends and family, and I'd really be appreciative. The goal of the channel has always been to tell black stories the black way, because if we all give the white supremacists an opportunity to tell our stories, many a times our stories are distorted. Family, thank you so much, and see you all in our next episode. Goodbye for now.